So recently I made a what's on my iPhone video and you guys loved that one so much, I'll link it right here, that you guys asked for a what's on my computer video. And I don't do these videos very often, maybe what's on my iPhone once a year, and I don't even know if I've ever done a what's on my computer, so you're in for a treat. As you can see, my computer is right over here. I thought I'd keep it in frame today so you can check it out. And for today's video, I'm gonna give you what you wanted. I'm gonna jump into the software first, and then I'm gonna get to the stuff on the outside, like the cases and the peripherals I have to have with me every single day. So to start us off, this is the late 2016 MacBook Pro 15-inch with touch bar. So all the specs of my computer are right here, and I spec'd out just about everything except for the SSD, and that's one of my biggest regrets to this day from having this computer for 4 years now. Unfortunately, I only went with 500 gigabytes, so it's super frustrating when I'm trying to work on any file projects, especially when I've shot weddings in the past, with a whole terabyte of footage. Think about that. I think one of my favorite things to do, and you've noticed this in my what's on my iPhone videos and stuff, is to keep my desktop nice and clean, nice and minimal. And so you'll notice that sure, I have all my apps over on my bar, and some people have it towards the bottom. I think that's the default. I actually keep mine to the left on my MacBook Pro, and for some reason on my iMac, I put it on the right. As for the folders and files on my computer, I don't keep a bunch. I only keep the ones I currently use, except for the My Stuff folder. I keep that one there always. For the past about 2 years now, I've also kept a YouTube folder there, and that's always there just because I work on video projects just about every single week. So in that folder, I'll keep different things like YouTube intros or thumbnails or even music files that I can use in my videos. And the last folder you see on my desktop is my distance learning folder because I am a high school teacher, so for the foreseeable future and the past 2 months, I've been doing distance learning or teaching my students at home online, and so that's a folder I keep since I use that a lot lately. And then the actual random files on my desktop are ones that I'm using that day, and then I try to clean out my desktop so it's only those few folders and nothing else because I like a minimal desktop. I change my desktop wallpaper all the time. The way to my heart, if you didn't know, are puns, and so I try to find awesome punny wallpapers. But for now, today, I'm rocking my how-tos wallpaper because this is my second channel. If you didn't know, you should go subscribe. I'll link it below. All right, the part you've been waiting for, my apps bar and all the apps that I actually use on my MacBook. So we got a few pretty obvious ones. We have the Finder, the Launchpad. These are ones that just constantly stay there. But on my MacBook Touch Bar, which I actually like, I know a lot of people hate, I think it's pretty cool, I can actually just jump to those pretty quickly. And my browser of choice is actually Safari. Literally about a year ago, I switched over to using Safari, just trying to get into the Apple ecosystem really. And so on my iPhone and my MacBooks, I've been using Safari. And now because I was hacked recently, if you didn't hear about that, go watch this video right here. I found out about something called browser session hijacking, and so now I'm really sticking away from Chrome and staying away from it as much as I can because I think that's where I got hacked. I'm just paranoid now, but of course I still have it there. I use it sometimes. YouTube TV is something I subscribe to, and if you didn't know, for some reason it doesn't really work on Safari. I keep the classic calendar app from Apple here because I like that it shows the exact number date right there on the icon without opening it. I keep the calculator here for quick calculations for grades whenever I need it. And then I actually really love the Notes app from Apple because I can take notes on my MacBook Pro, I can see it on my iPhone, and then I can also even edit it on my iPad Pro if I wanted to. I love that they all just sync so nicely. And yes, I know other apps can do this, but this one's just convenient. I switch around sometimes, but my current email client of choice is Spark Email. Check this one out because again, it syncs through all my devices. And I really like having the different email clients that can populate all my email accounts into one app because I have about 8 or 9 different email addresses, believe it or not. Of course, I got iMessages turned on my MacBook Pro. When I was a student, you have no idea how great it was to be able to text my friends or text my wife or girlfriend or fiance at the time through my MacBook Pro during a lecture, and that was just something that's super useful. And again, the syncing across platforms, that's why everybody loves the Apple ecosystem. Spotify is my music client of choice. I absolutely love this. I use this daily. I have the Apple TV and the iTunes app on here, so the iTunes one I don't use very often anymore, basically just when I have to back up or do something with my iPhone before getting a new one. That's almost the only time I go into the iTunes app. And then the Apple TV one I use decently, but a lot more on my iPad Pro because of the fact that I watch and rent and buy a lot of movies. I'm definitely creating a digital library of movies for myself. And also I have an Apple TV 4K downstairs. So the podcasting app is one of the new ones I'm getting into. I'm getting really interested in podcasting. I don't know how interesting I would be in starting a podcast. Drop a comment below if you'd actually be interested in hearing what I have to say in a podcast. I think it'd be kind of fun. And I think instead of Novatech, I'd probably gear it more towards how-tos because that's a broad range and I can do all different topics. I can even talk about tech in that podcast. We have the Apple Photos app and I have the GoPro app on here for my GoPro Hero 7. And then here's the controversial one. I have Imovie on here. I don't know how many of you know this, but you see right below iMovies, I also have Final Cut Pro. Shout out to my friend Angel. I've never used Final Cut Pro. I've never used the Adobe app. This is one of my big dark secrets, and there you have it. I use iMovie to edit all of my videos, even my more cinematic kind of wedding videos, all done through iMovie. Anybody want to teach me how to use Final Cut Pro? This next one is the HP Smart app. I have a new HP printer and I'm in love with it, and I love the HP Smart app, especially on my phone because I use it as a PDF scanner too as a teacher, and it's so helpful. I literally use that one every single day. As a teacher, my school uses the Microsoft Suite, and so that's why I use PowerPoints, I use Excel, I use Word, I use Teams, I use the Microsoft Suite for work. Got the FaceTime app on here. I use Zoom for a lot of school conference calls and video calls, and I use Microsoft Teams for some of those video calls as well. And with friends, I love using House Party. Speaking of that though, I feel like a video with my live conference call or video calling setup would be awesome. Like what microphone, what webcams I use and stuff. And this isn't like a live streaming setup like gamers use, so it's not using Elgato things and a fancy crazy camera. I'm talking about budget options, things that everybody could go out and get for themselves and have great video and audio quality. Drop a comment if you're interested. All right, here are the last few. I have the App Store, I have the QuickTime Player. This is what I use for my different screen recordings. This is the Preview app that Apple uses, which brings up pictures or PDFs. And then last but not least, this is my Settings app. I like to keep it at the bottom. And whenever I can, I try to keep my trash bin or my cycle bin completely empty. You know I like me a clean, minimal desktop computer. And that's what's on my MacBook Pro. And I know you guys want to hear all about the cases and the peripherals that I use daily on my MacBook Pro, so stick around and let me pay some bills. So you guys know keeping a clean computer is super important to me. And you saw that half my storage on my SSD has already been taken up, and who knows what all that junk is. Clean My Mac X is an awesome software you should definitely check out. I actually use this one personally. This is a super versatile piece of software for your Mac. It not only cleans it up, but it actually makes it optimized so that it can run faster, which I need. Clean My Mac X has actually been around for over 12 years now, and you can actually find them in the Apple App Store, which tells you how legit this app is. One of my favorite features has been the full scan, which helps me find all the useless junk that doesn't need to be on my computer anymore. I was pretty nervous about this at first, but it makes sure not to touch any of your essential system files. My other favorite feature about it, especially because I got hacked recently, is that it scans for all malware, adware, spyware. It scans for any of that junk that hackers can try to put onto your computer, including Trojan files. I hate you, hackers. They have this thing called the Space Lens feature, which is pretty awesome. It'll show you all the biggest files taking up the most space on your computer. And so that's been a godsend on those days when I'm almost out of storage on my computer and I just need to delete a few things so that I can finish the video I'm working on. Use my link below and check out this awesome app. And now for the goods. On my computer, I keep this little case right here. It's this soft matte finish case that feels almost silicone-y, but it's hard, and I love it. It's from a company called Koozie, and it was just the Amazon Choice one, and I think it works well. It's not very expensive, but I will say that I have a couple cracks and dings in it recently, and so I might switch it out soon. On the bottom, it also protects it, which is awesome. That's why I love it. It has these rubber feet also, gives it nice little grip. And then yeah, I keep a little Supreme sticker at the bottom of my computer for that hype beast in me that's kind of subtle. Next up, I gotta have my computer charger on me. I have the USB-C to USB-C cable that came with it, but this is what's special. I got the blockhead adapter on it, so instead of plugging it into a wall like this, like a weirdo, I can now plug it in flat like this, so it saves so much more space. Okay, a couple essential dangly dongles. This is a USB-C to USB 3.0 dongle. This one is so key to have because it's just so simple, easy to use, cheap, and it works. This one is the Apple official one when this first came out, USB-C everything. This is the one that has a USB-C port, HDMI, and an A port. Next up, my USB-C card readers and memory stuff. This is an Angelbird dual CFast 2.0 card reader. Pretty useful. And this is a Samsung T5 card. This is a 2 terabyte one. And yes, I just recently ran out of space on this. Samsung, if you're watching this, I need another one. One that I don't use that much anymore is this one. I love SanDisk cards, but this is a SanDisk SD card reader that's USB-C, and I used this a lot before, but my current camera, the 1DX Mark II, only has CFast 2.0 and CF cards, which again, this is an SD card reader, but this is useful to have, and I might be picking up a new camera soon. I've been rocking a one camera setup lately, and I definitely would love an overhead second camera. Anywhere I go, AirPods are essential. These are the AirPods Pro. I love the noise canceling, love the wireless charging, absolutely hate the fit. After maybe like 45 minutes to an hour of wearing them, my ears want to die. they hurt my ears. They're just too big in my ear canal, and they really just, they hurt my ears. I also use this really tough Incase sleeve. I like this one a lot. It's actually saved my MacBook a couple times. This thing doesn't have any zippers and has a really tough bumper around it, and that's why I love it. And this is my non-dangly dongle. That sounds really weird. You should try to say that. This one's by a company called QOC. I don't feel like trying to pronounce that, you know what I'm saying? But it has this nice leather magnetic case. Ooh, I love that. And then it plugs right into my MacBook Pro. Gives me an HDMI port, 2 USB-Cs, 2 USB 3.0s, a micro SD, and an SD card reader. This is a pretty sweet one. And those are the different peripherals I use on my MacBook Pro when I'm on the go. You should definitely hit that subscribe button because a full desk setup tour is coming real soon. And it's not just a regular standing desk. It's not just a regular one-sided desk. This is a unique one that's not seen very often on YouTube. Check it out. Subscribe below. That video is coming real soon. You'll see a lot more desktop peripherals kind of things that'll go with my MacBook Pro. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been taking suggestions lately, so drop a comment below if there's a video you really want to see from the channel. My name is Jerry Lanham, Tech, and to the next one and beyond.